All right, guys, David Miller here with United Country Fulford Realty again. Just shooting a quick video with Keith Simon here with Fairway Independent Mortgage in Enterprise, Alabama. Quick disclaimer for he and I, Keith is not the only mortgage lender that I proclaim or send folks to, and I'm not the only agent that he works with. So lots of good lenders out there, but Keith had a closing with him a few weeks ago and asked him to do this interview and kind of go over the different types of loans and maybe educate you a little bit more. So Keith, 4 big types of loans, my understanding. You've got a conventional, you've got a FHA, VA, USDA. Can you tell us who qualifies for those, kind of the basic guidelines of those? I know that may take a minute. But.
Sure. Really, we'll start with the easiest. That's the conventional loan. A conventional loan, David, really is more set up for buyers who have traditional funds for down payments. And a down payment can be as little as 3%, could be as great as 20% or more. And it gives maybe people that have too much income in their household or too many assets and savings and won't qualify for a USDA loan, which we'll get into shortly. But a conventional loan really for investments or people who are purchasing maybe their second or third home and have assets available to do so. A VA loan, real simple. If a veteran will qualify for a VA loan as long as they've served at least 180 days of active duty, if they've been discharged honorably, or if they've been Guard Reserve, served 6 years, or been deployed while in the Guard Reserve for 180 days or greater. And this will qualify them for a VA loan. As an active duty soldier, they don't have to wait the 180-day mark. Once they're in and settled into their duty assignment, just completed one for a young soldier here at Fort Rucker, he was able to qualify for his VA eligibility and purchase his first home for he and his wife. Really one that, an FHA loan, they're great loans. It's a minimum requirement of 3.5%. They have some other flexibilities with them. There's no real income limit to an FHA loan. So for those folks that may not have a traditional 10% or 20% down or make too much money to qualify for a USDA loan, it's a great option for somebody to get into a house and keep their payment reasonable and their initial investment not being too heavy. And then really one of our more popular loans here is a USDA loan. The United States Department of Agriculture guarantees the loans. Those loans are really meant for the guarantee program for a rural area. We're considered to be a not overpopulated rural area, so it allows us to offer 100% financing backed by USDA. There are some things with USDA that can disqualify you. One, of course, being too much household income. And with USDA, they take into consideration everyone's income in the household. So if you are taking care of maybe elderly parents and they stay with you and they're receiving Social Security, that's part of your household income. But all of that can be worked through, of course, with a strong mortgage lender, which you know we are here at Fairway. But a USDA loan's a great opportunity, especially for first-time home buyer type folks or somebody who doesn't have the assets available to purchase a home. And the best rule of thumb there is if you don't have 20% or greater in cash assets available, then you'll qualify for a USDA loan as long as your income falls within the limits.
Gotcha. Good deal. And the main thing, USDA loan, I had somebody ask me this week, you don't have to be outside of the city limits to qualify for USDA loan because of our area.
Correct, that's correct. So really in our immediate area, our only area that is non-USDA eligible would be in the city limits of Dothan. So outside of Dothan and Taylor or towards Rehoboth, Midland City, and of course Hartford, Enterprise, Ozark surrounding area, we are USDA qualified here.
Good deal, good deal. Again, a lot of what we do is land, rural property, homes with acreage. So what are the constraints on 2 acres in a home, 5 acres in a home, 10 acres in a home with those 4 types of?
Yeah, so really even to the 10 acres in a home, which would be the largest, there's no real restraint. There are some adjustments that'll be made. USDA is an example. So home and 10 acres USDA, if the land is functional farmland or can be used for agriculture, soybeans or peanuts or whatever, it can't be financed or guaranteed by a USDA loan. Sounds funny, it's the Department of Agriculture, but they're not for a money-making enterprise. Conventional loan would be fine, a VA loan to that matter would be fine. Where you really run into the biggest question is 40 acres in a house in USDA, or VA or conventional or FHA. It generally isn't a problem as long as the home carries a majority of the value. And although it's not a written in stone guideline, but a 60-40 rule is generally the best rule. As long as the home value is 60% of the total purchase, including all of the acreage, then that's your best bet there. Good rule of thumb.
Good deal, good deal. So homes with acreage are, you don't just have to be a home in town to get a USDA or a VA loan. Keith can work through that with you, or any questions you have with that. So I'll put your phone number at the bottom of this video so we don't have to run through all that for time's sake. And here's my knuckleball question for you.
All right, fire away.
Tradition. Keith's a sports guy. We generally end up talking about basketball, football, or something while we're together in the closing. So one word answers, and then I'll let him expound a little bit. LeBron or Michael Jordan?
Jordan.
Steph Curry or James Hardin?
Steph Curry.
Where does Kobe fit in the mix here?
Not at all.
All right. You want to expound on any of those?
I can. I grew up in the Detroit area, so seeing Michael Jordan play plenty of times, amazing. Just takes control of the game. And I like Steph Curry, I guess, because of his humility. He's a very humble. At least he seems humble in his interviews. And I just don't like Kobe Bryant.
I wish James Harden would play a little defense, but he's pretty
A little
amazing.
bit. He is, but they are. They're all far better athletes than I could ever be, for sure.
That's right. That's right. So if you need a mortgage, got any questions on mortgage, feel free to call Keith Simon, Fairway Independent Mortgage.
Yep.
Need any real estate needs, buying, selling property, homes with acres, land, farm, that's what we do. So my cell will be at the bottom of the screen too. And appreciate it, Keith.
Yep, thank you.
Yes, sir.